Hi there, dance studio owners, and welcome to the Transform My Dance Studio podcast. For the next 6 weeks, we are doing something we have never done before, and we couldn't be more excited to announce that the incredible Kim McSwain is going to be taking over the podcast for the next 6 weeks. The exclusive podcast series will be hosted by the founder of Changing Lives, who's really one of the best in the world at transforming studio culture, curriculum, and getting students, teachers, staff, and parents excited about dance and your studio in a whole new way. Kim McSwain is just one of our extraordinary coaches inside the DSOA Inner Circle, where she delivers monthly live training as well as daily group support for our Inner Circle members. If you're loving this podcast series with Kim as much as we are, make sure to join the Inner Circle waitlist at dsoa.com/inner circle to get even more access to our world-class coaches. Now, on to today's podcast episode with the one and only Kim McSwain.
Hello. You guys, today it is our very last podcast together. Are you crying? Do not cry, Buttercup. Do not do that. I know I've had such a blast because apparently I just love to hear myself talk. Just going in quiet places and just talking to hear myself talk. Go me. Well, for our last one, I was thinking I've got to do something fantastic. I've got to do something that's going to blow their socks off. But I didn't know what to do. I wanted to talk to you guys back and forth, but I didn't really have that option. And I wanted to do something kind of, provocative. But instead, I'm going to answer some questions and some things that you guys have asked me about and finish kind of like that. So there's 2 topics that came through, and then there's a couple of questions that I'm going to answer. So the first one is, with the new year coming in, not the new year, but the new season rolling around and everybody's, studio hopping thing to do. Apparently that's cool these days. We just studio hop. That's what we do. There's no loyalty. We don't stay with our teacher that's taught us everything that we know. No, that's not what we do. How do we remind these dancers that your studio is the studio for them? Well, I should have prefaced this by saying that I'm in a feisty mood today. I don't know why, because I'm using my therapy putty right now as we speak, and it's really relaxing. It's really great. It calms your mind. It really does work. It's fantastic. I really highly recommend it. It's really nice. But I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, why I'm feisty. I don't know why I'm feisty today, but my answer to that was, if you and your team have done consistently what you're supposed to and your job well, then there's no answer that the students are reminded that your studio is the studio for them. If they've done consistently their job well, that there's no answer that those students know that your studio is the studio for them. And it happens on a consistent basis. It's not just something that happens one day that goes, we just want you to know and hope that this feels like home for you. No, it's not just those words. It's your actions. It's the actions from every single day. Do they feel seen every single day? Have they felt heard every single day? Do you know their name? Do you know when they're not feeling well? Have you read their body language? Are they having a good day? Are they having an off day? Have you recognized it? Did you see when they came in and they were withdrawn that day and their arms were crossed? Did you notice when they were having an amazing day? It's kind of like, we build relationships with these kids, and a lot of times without even talking. So we have had to read them in the room. We've had to see when they're kind of boasting a little bit and they're happy. We have to see when they're a little bit withdrawn and their shoulders are down and their eye lines down a little bit. We have to see, when they're exhausted from school. We have to see when they have a little bit more energy for class and they're really going full out. All these things as teachers we have to do, and we have, anywhere from 10 to 30 kids in a room, sometimes 50 kids in a room, and we have to do that for individually all of them. It's a lot of work that we have to do, but as educators, and really good educators, we're able to do that and compute and remember that and dial in on every kid's personality and remember that and take that home with us. So hopefully if they've done that, we've consistently done it, they know that we care about them. Did we hold them to a certain level, a certain bar of excellence? I think that's really important because kids dig that. They dig it so hard because that means that they were seen. We cared enough about them to hold them to a certain level of pushing them to where they felt like someone cared enough about them to push them further than they wanted to push themselves. And that's really what it's about. Someone cared enough about you to push you harder than you ever wanted to push yourself. Or they believe that you could do more than you believe that you could do yourself. And that's what we're really doing as motivators. As educators, we're motivators as well. We're motivating these kids to be the very best versions of themselves. So we're pushing them constantly. And they love that. We want them to thrive on that. We want them to earn for that. Yearn for that. Is that the right word? Yeah, we want them to do that. And then also, did they know that we're waiting for their return? That we can't wait to see them again. That's one of the things, is when the kids are leaving, have we made eye contact with them to say, hey, I'll see you next Tuesday. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you next year. I'll see you this. I'll see you that. I can't wait to see you. I can't just wait to see your progress. Do they know that we are waiting for their return? I think that's really important. With all those things pieced together, the consistency of our team doing our job well, holding them to a level of excellence, and waiting for their return, all of those things together will absolutely let these dancers know that the studio is their studio. And you should never worry about them leaving. I think that when we worry about people doing things, it sets a bad tone and a bad energy and a bad vibe above the whole thing. Do you know what I mean? That is going to sets the precedent of going to do something like that. Oh, I don't want you to leave to go to another studio. Well, they're not going to. Why would they? You're doing the best. You're doing an amazing job. You're providing the best service, the best training, the best atmosphere, the best of everything. Why would they go anywhere else? They're not going to. They're not going to. So don't worry about it. And if they do, and all this is happening, you're giving the best service, you're doing the very best, everything's whatever, then it is what it is. Done. Solve that problem. Thanks, Kim. You're welcome. Okay, this next one, hiring and firing staff for the best possible transition into a new season. Okay, here we go. You're going to love me for this. This is going to be fantastic friendship time. Hiring. Here's my words of wisdom on that. Don't be afraid to be honest about exactly what you want, expect, and need. Okay? Don't be afraid to be honest about exactly what you want, expect, and need. Because here's the deal. I feel like we go into things and we're embarrassed. I know I was embarrassed hiring people and telling them exactly what I wanted because my expectations were so high to tell them what I wanted because I knew that it was such a high bar and such an ask that they would be like, no thanks. Nobody wants that job, right? But then how do I expect anybody to give it to me if I don't tell them what I'm wanting? Right? So you need to tell them exactly what you want, exactly how you expect it done, and what you need from them. And then tell them, this is what I'm going to give you. You're going to get an amazing boss. You're going to get an incredible work environment. You're going to get the best dancers. You're going to get blah, 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 ABC, 1, 2, 3. Take it or leave it. Do you like it? Boom. Just very black and white, very to the point. It's going to make you feel good. It's not going to make you feel anxious. You're not going to have any sort of yuck in your body. It's just very there. And if you want me to do it, just call me. I'll come and do it for you. Okay. Firing. This is where you're really going to want me to come do it for you. Okay. Kindness and honesty can help guide someone to their next step. That sounds sweet, doesn't it? Sounds sweet unless you're sitting across from them having to fire them. Okay. Bottom line is, if someone is not doing their job, it's not a personal thing. You like them very much as a person, or maybe you don't. We'll take that part out. But if they're not doing their job, then we cannot pay them for doing a job. Okay? That's it. That's it. And there's different ways of firing people. And I would love different scenarios. This would be a fun game. How would Kim fire someone in this scenario? I think it's just honest. I think it's kindness. I think it's respect. All these certain things that goes into this. This is a human being. They're losing a job. You have to be respectful. You have to be kind, but you have to be honest. And I would like to help guide them into their next step in some form or fashion. Right? They're just not able to work there for you. Maybe they're wonderful for someone else. And maybe you can give them some criticism or some critiques, some wonderful critiques to help them move forward, but they can't work for you. And it's not personal. You like them. Hopefully you do like them very much as a person, or you find something nice about them that you can say. And that's that. That's it. Okay. I want to move on to questions. Okay. So this is a hard question, and you're not going to like my answer to this. I don't think, you guys. Question is, I have a teacher that has a lot of pull with the parents and dancers. First of all, she shouldn't. And I feel like that if I take your advice and tell her she has to stop with the drama, she will leave and take half of my kids. Okay, here's the problem. The problem is the teacher already has relationships with the parents and the kids. Okay, so now we've got into the problem of why I didn't want those things happening in the first place. You see what I'm saying? Sis? Yeah. Okay, so that's fine, but now we're already in this situation, and you're afraid if you tell her to stop the drama, then she's going to leave and she's going to take these kids with her. Okay. Are you able to have a conversation nicely where you can nicely stop the drama? Or if we do this, is the drama going to continue? I'm guessing that the drama is going to continue and there's no way to resolve this situation. Now, this is where you have to decide. Money versus drama. Do you want to continue? Do you have to? Do you need to? Are you going to continue drama, turmoil, chaos, yuck in your business, in your day-to-day life, in your mental health, in your everyday breath? Are you going to let drama in that? Or are you going to get rid of it, let it exit, and lose money? Which one are you going to choose? And that's that. And I know that sounds horrible. Doesn't that sound horrible? But it is what it is. Bottom line, you have to choose. I know. Punch me right in the face. I know. That's what you're going to have to choose. I would choose losing money and getting out of my life. She's got to go because I promise you some of them will stay and the drama will go with her and it's going to be the best decision you've ever made. Mic drop. Promise. Okay, when I run class every day, how do I not get too comfortable and complacent? How do I maintain that same energy that you bring? Also, can you come do a confidence course for my dancers and faculty members? Yes, I can. Yes, I do confidence courses and for dancers and faculty all the time, you guys. I do them on Zoom, I do them in person, I do them in my classes. Of course, we do them for the movement, all that. Just email us, info@kimmcswain.com. Okay, so I say this all the time. It's very easy for me and my team to come in for a weekend or come in for some classes and be amazing, right? Because we're coming in for 5 hours or 2 days. It's very hard to do what you guys do. And that is go in on a day-to-day basis every single day and be rainbows, sunshine. but you can do it. I'm not saying you have to be a full-blown circus, but I'm saying that you can go in and you can be a motivator and you can be inspirational and you can lift kids up and you can be the light in their lives and you can be the constant in their lives and you can be something of realness, of honesty, of grace, of constance, I know I've said that, but it's important, of grace, of realness, of, I'm closing my eyes and I'm grasping my hands together because I'm trying to think of the words that I want to say for this. Kindness, realness, honesty, non-judgmental, beauty. Trying to think, softness, something that kids can go to that just makes them feel okay, if that makes sense. And I don't think that we take that for granted as teachers, but I'm telling you what, that's all I had. It is all I had growing up. And I wasn't like the normal abused kid that you would think, abuse is in so many different ways, guys. Abuse is so many different ways. And I needed dance. And I know that so many kids need it too. And are so far worse than me and what I was. And I was really bad off. And I think that us as teachers, we don't recognize that enough. You know what I mean? And I see it all the time. I'm like a radar. I see these kids. I go right to them the second I walk in. I'm like, boop, 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 boop. Right to her immediately. And these kids are doing drugs and they're cutting and they're taking pictures they're not supposed to. And they have bad self-poor body image. And their anxiety's bad and their depression's bad. And these are things that these kids are dealing with. And I'm seeing it every weekend when the kids are journaling and when they're writing. And I'm giving the time to sit down and do things. And these are kids that are just minutes before standing there in their little Lululemon outfits and smiling, and you would never know until you give them the option to feel and sit down, and that's what they feel like. And it makes me very sad. And so I wish that all the teachers could see what I see and listen. And I hope that they listen. I hope you listen now. And remember that when I say you're supposed to change these kids' lives, I mean it. Every time you walk in there with positivity and joy and smiles and love and compliments. And you can teach. You can do it. I'm a good educator. And I get some correction. I correct in there. I'm strict in there. I'm hard in there about a lot of things. I'm still educated. I'm still a dance teacher. But I'm so much more than that. And I want us to all be that. And I want us to become a force to change the way that we teach dance. To look at the way that we teach dance, and in the way that we teach school, and the way that we teach sports, and the way that we teach everything, to go in there with a completely different mindset, to know that we have an obligation to these kids to help in every way that we can, to let them know that they are seen and that we can help them. Last question I have is, I have a very troubled student and I don't exactly know what boundaries are in helping this kid. What would Kim do? if they came to me, I would let them know they're very brave and thank you for coming to me. You know, we're limited in what we can do with the authorities. I don't feel comfortable talking about it on the podcast because I don't know the different scenarios and what I can do. You know, make sure the parents are always aware if the kids' mental health is not okay. Do wellness checks with the kids. I think it's important with your students to always do wellness checks, mental check-ins, see how they're doing. I think this is something that needs to be talked about a lot more. This can be something that you talk about with your parents and just let them know, hey, I'm going to be doing mental check-ins, mental wellness check-ins with the kiddos and see how they're feeling. You know, I just want to let you know that's going to be part of some things that we're going to be doing here. And just, you know, making sure that the whole child feels great. The dancer, the kid, the student, the friend, you know, the whole kid. And the last questions was, what is changing lives? What is the movement? What is the mini movement? So many things. Changing Lives is the name of the company, you guys, because that's what we do. We really change lives, and I believe it with my whole heart. The movement is our in-studio experience where we come in, we do it with 50 to 100 dancers. Sometimes we have 150 dancers. We come in, it's a full experience with the studio owners, the parents, the dancers, and the faculty. It's almost like a retreat, studio convention. We have auditions, team building, journaling, games, parent chat and educational classes of course. We have mini movements with just myself where I go in. We have studio rescues where I go in and kind of make over the studio, their curriculum, help with the faculty, things of that nature. I do a little bit of anything that the studio needs. I am a big nerd. I have been in the studio business for 30 years and I love everything about it. So Changing Lives is for the studio owner, the dancers, the faculty, and all things studio. So you can email us at Kim McSwain, info@kimmcswain.com, and you can visit us at kimmcswain.com to see what we're all about. You guys, I have enjoyed speaking with you guys for the past 6 weeks, and I hope that I'm not too blunt for you guys, and I'm in my approach, but I love what we're doing, and I think that we can do so much more if we get our minds right, and we can take over this dance world, and we can do big things for these kids because they're going to do big things for us in this world. So thank you for listening, you guys. I'll see you soon. I'll talk to you soon. Have a blessed day, you guys. Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed today's special episode of the Transform My Dance Studio podcast with guest host Kim McSwain. Don't forget to join our Inner Circle waitlist at dsoa.com/innercircle for even more access to our world-class coaching team. You can also join us over in the Dance Studio Owners Association Facebook group for more resources and support in growing the dance studio of your dreams while reclaiming your life.